Yo, what's going on, boys? First of all, I just want to say, everybody who tuned into the live stream on TikTok, on Kick, on YouTube, whatever, whether you stayed for 20 seconds or you were the guy trolling me for an hour on the Kick chat, I just want to say thank you for watching. I'm going to be live streaming all the good UFC cards on this channel, not on this channel, sorry, on my other YouTube channel, which will be in the description, on my Kick, AJ Drizzy, and then on TikTok at AJ Drizzy as well. Yeah, complete domination for Max Holloway. No, I'm kidding. Of course. Yeah, Charles absolutely destroyed him. I thought Max was going to do a better job at, maintaining distance, not let Charles get so close to him. But unfortunately for me and unfortunately for my pick, he did not. Not a BMF type of fight. A lot of control time, as you see. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. There's 20 minutes and 49 seconds of control time. I have it memorized. But yeah, I'm not too happy, but, I still like Charles. I got a Charles shirt here and there. How are your Charles shirts doing, Stretch?
Very happy. I thought that fight was great. Complete domination out of Charles. Won every single minute of that fight. Didn't even lose a single second in the fight. He just absolutely dominated Max.
Yeah,
I knew that once Max was in the room and they were showing his takedown defense was like at 80%, I knew it was over.
yeah. This reminded me a lot of Hamzat versus Robert Whitaker, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, there's nothing like Hamzat versus Robert Whitaker." That's a bunch of complete bullshit. Okay, so what it is basically there's a veteran of the sport who's never fought an elite level MMA wrestler, like predominant MMA wrestler and grappler. Like you could say Volk, he's got decent offensive wrestling. You could say Brian Ortega with his soy boy style, but he's never fought anybody like Charles. He's a veteran of the game, so everybody just kind of assumed he had wrestling, but he had never really shown it, even though he had been in the UFC for fucking, I don't know, like 15 years. Not 15, but way over 10. So yeah, Max Holloway in this case being Robert Whitaker and Charles Oliveira being Hamzat Chimaev. But yeah,
No, I,
similar fight for me, in my opinion.
I've seen a lot of people I've seen a lot of people comparing this fight to like Hamzat DDP, but I felt like Oliveira he tried a lot of submissions, and Max was just content, just staying there defending.
I was
Like
impressed with
I, I
Max's
don't know what the
ability to not
exact
get submitted.
submission counter is. Like I'm sure we could find what the how many submission attempts Charles actually did.
It's right here. It's 4.
Like he tried finishing the fight. Max was just content just staying there.
Yeah, Max impressed me in that regard, but his takedown defense, I was not very impressed with. I was honestly, it wasn't even the takedown defense that I wasn't impressed with. It was the fact that he couldn't maintain the distance to keep Charles off of him. I thought he was going to have a lot more power to kind of keep Charles at bay, and I thought he was going to do a lot better job at not getting pinned down against the fence. That was
Charles blitzed in
that was what I
8
thought.
shots with his chin up and just grabbed a hold of Max every single round. Max got lifted up
I
five
know.
times and then he never got up. Did he? He got up once in the 5th round.
Yeah, but I think Charles was letting him up so they could do the point down.
Yeah, like he could not stand up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think there's too much to discuss in terms of this fight because it was kind of just one round 5 times. And it was you could say it was, the greatest fight of all time or whatever. It was pretty ass. I think the more interesting topic is we just put out a GOAT list, guys. We put out a GOAT list. When this video goes out, it will have been 3 days ago. Charles Oliveira is top 15 for me now, and Max Holloway dropped like 3 spots. I'm super impressed with this win. This is the best win of his career by by a pretty large margin. Like, he's beating Max at this point. Like, before the fight, for me, was top 10 all time, and Charles beat him very handily. Super surprised with that. Do you have anything to add when it comes to the GOAT list for this?
I just not to the good list, but I just want to add a lot of people are complaining about like the BMF thing. I think this fight was more just like what both of the fighters wanted, and it just happened that Max had the BMF title.
Yeah, the
Like I
BMF
think
belt
this
is
fight just made sense for both of them.
the BMF belt is a Mickey Mouse title. Nobody actually gives a shit about it. It's not like it's not the real belt. Even Max said it when when he had the belt. Gaethje said it when he had the belt. I think Charles is probably saying it right now. They don't really care about that title. It's semantics. They want the real thing. So, is it a BMF type of fight? No, but it's like, does it really matter? It's just it's a number one contenders fight. It's a real like number one contenders fight. That's what it actually is. I do actually that does bring up a good point for me. I want to mention the commentary. Joe Rogan and John Anik are some absolute fucking dumbasses. DC said, is this really what the fans want, man? Out of the BMF belt, man? The fans are booing right now. And Joe Rogan's like, oh yeah, all these casuals booing. How could you even say that this isn't a BMF fight? This is the most entertaining fight of all time. This is like Joshua Van and Brandon Royval. But this is like one of the most entertaining fights of all time. And John Anik said this stupid ass shit. And he says, Charles Oliveira just subdued the best volume striker in UFC history for 5 rounds. Dude, he's a grappler, and he took him down and controlled him for 5 rounds. It's not like he just subdued him and was like, slipping, dipping, and ripping on the feet. No, he just he took him down and he controlled him. That's what a grappler is looking to do, dude. Are you fucking dumb? Like, John Anik, do you need to be like dropped on your head? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I obviously no violence. I'm not trying to insinuate any violence, but like I want to know what the thought process behind Joe Rogan and John Anik's thinking is there. And I get DC's going to be a little bit biased towards Max, but in this case, he can be both biased and correct because he is. Now,
And then on the bright side also, just because of how the fight turned out, they both can make pretty quick returns to the octagon.
that's actually what I was going to get into. The next matchup for both of these guys. I want to see Max fight BSD. I think that's the next logical matchup. Maybe Patty, but I think BSD is a little bit more deserving to fight up the rankings. And then Charles, I think he's hoping the belt changes hands. I'm going to be honest. I think he's hoping Ilya vacates after he slimes out Justin Gaethje, but we're going to talk about that in another video that should be dropping the next day after this. What are you thinking for both of these guys next?
I think if Ilya beats Justin and stays at if he stays, I think they'll make Charles Arman too, because they don't want to give Arman a title shot. Charles obviously can't fight Ilya again, and there's no sense for him fighting down. I think that'd be a good fight to make. I also thought they would make I think they'll make like Patty Max.
Yeah, I don't think Patty's deserving of that. That's
I don't think he is either, but I think the UFC wants him to.
I think Max versus Benoit is a better fight for the fans. I think this is a true test of like, Max, is your grappling a serious hole in your game, or was it just Charles's grappling is really just that elite? And then it's I feel like the correct step for Benoit just beat Dan Hooker. I think next step is, a top 5 guy like Max Holloway. Now, we're trying to get through this fast. Moving on. Brandon texted me, just so you guys don't think like there's this big discrepancy in our predicting ability. Before we filmed the last video predicting this, Brandon was picking RDR. After we filmed that video, he switched back to RDR. I stuck with Kyle the whole time. I was sticking with Kyle the entire time. So
Just get the
he's
bigger fights correct.
bro. He's just like, listen. I'll come back when it comes to main events. I'll come back, but I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, super close fight. 30-27 on all judges' scorecards. I'm not gonna lie. I had it 29-28. The second round was super duper close. I'm not really sure. I actually want to look at the stats for that. Yeah, it was very close, but RDR had more control time. RDR striking is trash. How did this guy beat Whitaker? He's literally out here like this.
Oh, he was a prime punching bag that fight.
It was actually ridiculous. I have no idea how this guy beat Robert fucking Whitaker with striking looking like that. I think it was exactly what I said in the prediction. He's not going to be able to use the step in knees because Kyle Brau is a lot taller and rangier than Robert Whitaker is, so he doesn't have to close the distance as much, which proved to be true. He didn't really have to close the distance as much, and when he did close the distance, he could, slip, dip, rip. Any thoughts?
Um, I thought I thought Kaio. I thought he rocked him quite a few times, and he just didn't have the urgency to find the finish. And I
I
easily think he could have.
I agree with you in that he rocked him a lot, but I don't think he was rocked bad, and I think he recovered quick enough to where it didn't really matter. To be honest,
And
Kyle's never
I
really
also
been the
think
biggest finisher either.
I also think RDR might just have to go up to 205.
Yeah, I think he is a little bit too big for the weight class, and honestly, with the lack of grappling at 205, I think he would do really good. He's got a little bit of the lighter man's grappling skill and speed, so I think that's a good move for him. On the total strike, 71 to 111. Those stats are definitely incorrect. They got to be counting shots that land on the guard or shots that Kyle slipped because I did not see that. I don't like either of these guys, but because RDR tried to stink it up against the fence, I was like heavily rooting for Kyle once the fight actually started playing out. And I was honestly surprised at the fact that he got a takedown on RDR. I was very impressed with that in the third round. Third round, also, something to not be overlooked is he rocked RDR. Not bad, but enough to where it should be counted on the judging criteria at the very start of the round. Second round, this was the close one. I would say the judges got that wrong, but they gave it to the correct winner. I thought they were going to try to rob him, so I thought it was going to be split going into the last round. Very surprised to hear 30-27 on all three judges' scorecards. Who do you want to see these guys fight next?
Um, no, I wouldn't mind seeing. Let me actually check out the rankings real quick.
You know what,
I
actually?
wouldn't mind seeing Kaio fight. He could fight like Brendan Allen, maybe.
I think Brendan Allen would be a good fight for him. They have a little bit of history because of their grappling match. I think that's kind of the only logical thing that you do with him. I can't really think of another guy that.
Because I think Strickland's gonna get the title shot. But then
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
I also think Drickus and Allen are gonna fight, and then that just leaves Amabov.
But he already fought Kaya, so it doesn't really make any sense.
Exactly.
Maybe Kaio just sits around, gets fat again, and then fights like the loser of the title fight or something. No, I don't. I don't
Maybe.
think. I don't think that's gonna happen. But Kyle's definitely gonna be a little bit tricky to match make. Maybe they throw him somebody coming up the rankings. Like maybe they try to throw him to a Bo Nickel or a Kyle Dawkins, depending on which one of them wins. Maybe they throw RoboCop at him. I don't know if they're trying to screw him over. They give him somebody coming up, but he's definitely a tough one. RDR,
I'd like to see him
honestly,
fight Rack. Rakic at 205.
Rakic at 205 would be a good matchup for him. But if he's looking to stay at 185, I honestly wouldn't mind rebooking the Hernandez fight. They both just lost. They
I mean,
both just took a decent amount of damage. They're going to need some time off. If he's looking to stay at 185, I'd say just book that again.
it's not bad.
But if he's looking to go up to 205, there's a plethora of matchups for Dricus's slightly more disabled cousin. Now, do you have anything left for this?
Nope, I'm all good.
Moving on. This was definitely one of the picks of all time. While Rob Font was betting underdog, he was definitely the consensus pick for like all the MMA content creators, like on TikTok, YouTube, like Guru. I don't remember if Guru picked Rob Font or not, but like Bedtime, Lucas Tracy, they were picking Rob Font to chin Raul Rosas. We picked Rob Font to chin Raul Rosas. And Raul Rosas smudged him. I was I was not entertained. I was on live stream. Like I said earlier, I was on my phone. I could not stand to watch this fight. It was absolutely horrible. But also, this is not 16 takedowns, bro. This is like 3 takedowns and 13 mat returns. Gonna be honest. I was very impressed with Raul Rosas' improved cardio since his last loss a couple of years ago. Because that was exactly how he lost the last fight. He had a dominant first round where he didn't find a finish, and then he got fucked in the second. And the third.
I thought this fight was extremely boring. I was impressed on how good his wrestling was against a better opponent,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see like that fight again. Like he wasn't looking for submissions. He wasn't dealing much damage. He was just laying on him.
I'm going to be honest. I think this is what we're going to come to expect from Raul Rosas. I think he's going to be a younger, smaller, Jailton Almeida. Not quite to Jailton Almeida level, but he's not going to be... I don't think he's looking for the finish on the ground. He's definitely looking for control. Also, Rob Font, you're really fucking stupid. I don't know why you're coming out there literally in a wrestling stance when this is a fight and your chance is to knock him out. Like, dude, I honestly don't understand it. And then he does one of the worst sprawls of all time to defend the takedown. Raul Rosas turns the corner, immediately goes down, pulls guard, and starts fucking throwing up omoplatas, dude. Like, I pick you to win, and you start throwing omoplatas in the UFC, dude. Like, you're not hitting. When you get in high-level MMA, unless you're Charles DuBronx, when you get taken down, you're not fucking throwing up subs or sweeps or whatever. You're trying to get back up. Like, I don't know what these guys are doing, fucking sitting around playing guard. Like, that's not gonna work. This guy's obviously a better grappler than you. Why are you doing this instead of trying to stand back up? He got like one stand up off of the omoplata. Nice. You know what would have been a lot more, useful of a game plan? Standing up! I honestly don't understand it. Like, Firas Zahabi, with all his genius, he couldn't figure that out, huh? Are we dead ass?
Do you want to see these guys fight next?
Honestly, maybe have Raul Rosas fight like Figgy or something.
I was also thinking Figgy because I think the UFC is going to want to give him like a big jump up the rankings, and Figgy's still 7. It was either him or Cheeto, but Cheeto's 10. I'm just expecting them to try to give him a big push, but
Yeah,
I don't see him beating anyone else. I don't see him beating anyone in 8. He's going to lose to Bautista, and then he'll lose to everyone 5 and above.
Yeah. And Rob Font just given to another prospect. Just keep it going. Whatever. Raul Rosas, we're gonna get him up out of there soon. Don't worry. I do respect it though. Ranked at 21, very very impressive. Do you got anything left to add for this?
Nope.
All right. Moving down the card, Drew Dober proves us all correct. I honestly thought he was the underdog. I kind of forgot about that. But,
He
uh,
was the underdog, and then there was like really weird line movement right before the fight.
well, of course there's going to be
Like,
line movement. It's Drew Dober and Michael Johnson we're talking about. We know,
yeah,
me, Brandon, you, we all know why Drew Dober beat Michael Johnson. Like, we all know it. It doesn't have to be explained. I gave a pretty big reaction to this. It was super cool. I think it was a left hook that knocked him out.
it was.
Super nasty performance from Drew Dober. Well, not performance, but super nasty KO. I think he lost the first round, actually. Yeah, he did. He lost the first round pretty bad. The commentators were glazing the fuck out of Michael Johnson's speed. I don't know why. It was not that substantial of a speed differential between the two of them. But, Drew Dober, he adds another one to the list.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Drew Dober had a good performance there. It Michael Johnson, he was on a little crafty run there. We all know this. It's not a bad win for him. I would like to see I'd want him to enter the top 15. But like just looking at the rankings, I don't see anyone that he is especially good against in the top 15.
Uh, and honestly, I don't think the UFC is like fiending for Drew Dober to be ranked. I don't think they really care too much because he's kind of been around for a while. He's kind of had his chance. Like, maybe they throw him to a ranked opponent. Maybe they throw him to an up and coming prospect. Like, it doesn't really matter. They're both one of these guys. Like, if either of them had won, they're one of the guys that like they can fight up, they can fight down. It's not really a big. It's not really a big deal to the UFC.
Actually,
They're kind of just going to be always like right outside the rankings type of guys. It's kind of their
we could
destiny.
see him fight like hmm, he could. I could see Drew Dober. He could fight like a Jalen Turner. I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
I,
Maybe
I
he
think he
adds
could
another
win
one to the
that.
list with Jalen Turner. Or he gets smoked.
And then
Like,
Michael Johnson. You can book him and Alexander Hernandez again.
yeah. Yeah. I could see it. Not too much to talk about there. Pretty quick fight. Pretty.
Good finish.
Yeah, pretty good finish. Pretty standard for Drew Dober if we're looking at Michael Johnson. But now, Obama is sneakily becoming one of my like, favorite guys outside of the top 10. Is he? He's not top 10, is he? Am I stupid?
Nah,
He's not?
nah,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
not.
I fuck with Obama heavy, bro. He's like, he's a BMF, bro. Like, Obama is low-key a BMF. Combat Obama is always going out here, slamming motherfuckers out cold. And he's got good grappling, too. I'm a big fan, bro. I can't lie.
Uh, he's got he's got like a good he's a good jujitsu base and he's got good power in his hands. Only bad thing is he's a little bit chinny.
Yeah,
Don't know how far up the
true.
rankings he can get, but he's always like he's always a entertaining watch. Like if he's on the card, like there's a good chance of a finish.
Yeah, there's about a 95% chance of a finish. And I also want to say that this fight, combined with Drew Dober, they had me thinking this main card was going to go insane, and then we got
They really set the tone.
stinker. But yeah, this was a four-strike fight. There's not really too much to talk about. Obama fights are typically kind of like this. Either he gets chinned or he's a chin or be chinned type of guy, Mr. Barack. But
Anyone you want to see him fight next, especially.
mm,
I was thinking Cannonier maybe.
again,
To 35. Oh, jeez. Like
Cannonier
this
beat him.
middleweight division's so like it just looks so weird in the rankings, you know.
I mean, if Whitaker was gonna stay at gonna stay
But
at
he said he's going to
middleweight.
205.
He's not going to, like, he's going to 205. But maybe I could see that happening. But I don't know, dude. This is a tough one to book.
Uh,
Maybe you book
unless
him
he gets an
against.
RDR or a Fluffy.
He could get one of those guys. He could get one of those guys if you're not going to book them against each other. Maybe he gets either Izzy or Joe Pyfer. Maybe he gets one of them. I don't know. He's tough to book.
I don't know.
He's
He
tough
didn't
to
take
book
much
right now.
damage there, so I'm assuming quick turnaround for him.
That's true. That's true. I don't honestly
Tough spot.
a tough spot. Yeah, maybe if we're looking to fuck over Kyle Baralho, maybe that's who you give him. I don't know. I don't know. Bruno Ferreira, go fight an up and coming jobber. You're getting sent to the Apex, buddy. Somebody who's out of the Apex, Mr. Cody No Love. Should have been a DQ. Should have been a DQ. But gets the win after throwing up from 3 strikes to the balls.
I have no clue what round Cody won.
Yeah. I think fucking Zhao Long, he got 2 points taken away from him. So that
He
and
did have
Cody
2
won
points
by
taken
1
away.
point. Yeah, so
But I don't know what round he won.
yeah, honestly,
It should have been DQ. It should have been DQ.
It's-
3 nut shots is insane.
yeah, that's absolutely filthy. One of the worst cheaters since Cyril gone.
And he was like throwing his hands up in the air. He looked so stupid. But after that second, I think it was the second nut shot.
And this motherfucker's
Right
out
when
here
they,
shooting
like-
takedowns as well, bro. This is not Cody Garbrandt.
Like after the second nut shot, right when they re-engaged and Cody went for like the jumping like knee or whatever, DC got all excited in the commentary booth. He let out like a loud fight.
Dude. Sometimes the commentary is
that,
so dumb.
That part really had me cracking up.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't know.
Back, he's back on the winning streak. I mean, maybe the UFC will throw him Cheeto.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. But I think that's going to wrap it up for our UFC 326 recap. The rest are absolute nobodies. This card was terrible. Anyway, thank y'all boys for watching. Make sure you tune into the live streams. AJ Drizzy on Kick, YouTube, and TikTok. And let us know what you guys thought about the card. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all boys for watching once again, and peace.